Welcome back, friends. I'm Blair, and today we will be exploring the throat chakra. So get comfortable and let's dive on in. We've made it to the fifth chakra, or the throat chakra. Some other names that it goes by is the blue chakra, because the color associated with this chakra is blue. It also goes by space chakra, as the element is space. Now, this I find can be tricky. I know it was true for me. I didn't really totally comprehend the element of space. At first, I thought of space, just the universe. And then the more I studied the chakras, the more I work with them, I realized through studying with my teachers that this element of space is really like the container for the other four elements. So if you think about it, earth, it needs space to exist. Water needs space to exist. And the space that water is in also really informs its shape, right? If you put water into a glass, it will take the shape of that container or the space that it's in. So it's very adaptable, flexible, ability to change, right? As we explored with the second chakra. If you missed that, the link to all of the other chakra videos are in the description. So earth needs space to exist. Water needs space to exist. Fire needs space to exist. And air needs space to exist. So the space element in the throat chakra is really the container which allows all the elements to manifest and to be. Now, if you're thinking, I would imagine that the throat chakra governs communication. Yes, friends, you would be right. It governs communication. But what I do here is I want to broaden the scope of what that means. Because oftentimes when we think about communication, we think about something like this, right? I am communicating to you. You are receiving, hopefully, the information. So we have communication with others. But there's also communication with ourselves and communication with our body. And this is one aspect when someone is struggling with body image and issues around food that gets a little muddy. There is this disconnect from the communication between one's authentic self and their body and food. So oftentimes the disordered voice, you can also think of it as I like to say, the disharmonious voice, that's communicating to you and telling you that your body is wrong, you made the wrong food choice, you need to work out more, you need to do this, you're wrong for that, etc., etc., etc. So much noise. That is the disharmonious voice that is communicating to you. And the tricky part is that oftentimes when you're stuck in an eating disorder and disordered eating, you believe that to be truth. And so the work here, at least when you're working with an eating disorder, disordered or disharmonious eating, to separate that disharmonious voice out from your authentic self. I find this can be really hard, especially when people are just starting out on their journey. And this again, friends, is why I love working with the chakras, because you can work with the throat chakra to help find a sense of balance in this chakra, to help ease out communication, to make it more clear as to what is the disharmonious voice and what is the harmonious voice, right? Or the authentic self. Now, if you want to learn more about the disordered or disharmonious voice and really unpacking that and untangling it from who you truly are, definitely check out my course, Getting Unstuck, as we delve into this topic in multiple modules. So definitely check that out. And I'm so excited to announce that group programming is open once again. So if you're finding that this resonates for you, using the chakras as an entry point towards healing, definitely check that out. Group programming starts January 22nd, 2024, and it's available for purchase now. But back to the throat chakra. So communication with others, communication with self. Communication also can reflect upon our communication with everything, right? Our communication with the planet, our communication with our pets, communication with something bigger than oneself. And that's however you want to define it, if you define it that way. Fully respect all the atheists out there. But communicating with something bigger than ourselves. So whether you label that as a higher power or God or divine source, the source, divinity, Mother Nature, Allah, energy, light, consciousness, universal intelligence, there's so many different names because friends, there's so many ways up the mountain. Find the word, find the phrase that works for you. It'll all bring you to the same place. Connection with that something that is bigger than us. So Communication is a big one, friends, and it goes way beyond just communicating between one or more people. So here's a question to check in about how balanced your throat chakra is. I'm communicating this information to you. Are you listening? Is listening something that comes easy for you? Do you struggle to listen? Your ability to listen reflects upon your throat chakra. So if you tend to struggle with listening, that may be an indication that your throat chakra needs a little TLC. And just as we did with communication, listening can really be a very broad scope, right? Listening to another person speaking, listening to your intuition, listening to your body, listening to your thoughts, listening to your team, if you're lucky enough to be working with a team on whatever healing journey you're on. Right, so again, communication and listening, which go hand in hand, can be thought of in a very narrow way, or it can be thought of as a very broad, overarching concept. And again, the ability to move into that broad scope thinking also is an indication of having a more balanced and open chakra system. So communication and listening are big with the throat chakra. And another aspect that's governed by their throat chakra is self-expression. So this chakra governs our self-expression, whatever that means for you. We can express ourselves through our words, through art, through makeup, through clothes, through design, through the car you drive, through how you treat others, through how you see the world, right? There's so many ways, again, broadening that scope of how you can express yourself. And I would invite you, if you feel like you're kind of stuck in there's only one way to express myself, to, again, take a step back and exploring what it means to express yourself on your terms in a way that feels authentic for you will only simply help to balance the throat chakra and facilitate you finding that self-expression that feels authentic. Now, again, I will say not everyone has the luxury of feeling safe enough to express themselves. If it doesn't feel safe, what are some other ways you can express yourself that does feel safe? Maybe you can't express it through the clothes you wear, but maybe you can find other ways, or maybe when you're at home behind closed doors, then you can express yourself. So finding a way to do it on your terms to allow you to live in that authenticity, also while maintaining your safety. Another governing aspect of this chakra is creativity. Now, some people do talk about creativity as being governed by the second chakra, and I do discuss some of the reasons why this is in a blog post, which is linked in the description. If you listen to my content, if you read that blog post, you'll also be reminded that this journey is yours. I can give you information, other teachers will give you information. Some of it may differ, some of it may be similar, but the key is taking it all in, digesting it, and making it work for you in an authentic way to serve you and your greater good on your journey. So creativity, however you define that, is governed by the throat chakra. Again, putting a little asterisk on that because, again, you may find it resonates with your second chakra. You may find creativity stems from a different chakra or a combination of other chakras. Again, this work is yours to make your own. Remember, friends, there's many paths up the mountain. So to review, this chakra governs communication, listening, self-expression, and creativity. Now, a really lovely way to work with the chakras is using the bija sound. I haven't discussed this in any of my videos, but I go way more in depth in my course, Getting Unstuck. But the bija sound or seed sound, you can think of it as a mantra if that feels more accessible. These connect with the element. At least in the first 5 chakras, they connect with the element, as the first 5 chakras are the only ones with elements. When we're working with the throat chakra, I find that this one is really accessible with working with the bija, because when we make the sound hum, we can feel the vibration in our throat. So yes, friends, the bija is hum. And you might be hearing this thinking, oh, that's really intuitive then, of humming. We're just sort of intuitively helping to balance our throat chakra. Yes, friends. But remember, the key with this work is you also want to bring your attention and awareness to the chakra that you're working on, because where your attention and where your intention goes, energy flows. But what I love about this is that it naturally brings your awareness to the throat when you say the bija, hum. Now, I will also say it looks like ham, but it's not pronounced like ham. It's pronounced hum. So if you want to work with this, you bring your awareness to the throat. You can visualize the color blue if that's accessible. And then you use the bija sound, hum. Now you can say it audibly, you can also say it silently. When you say it silently, if you think about it, that vibration is staying within. So it's actually said that saying it silently can actually have more of a profound impact. So that's the bija for the throat chakra. All of the chakras have a bija to work with. And if you want to learn more about that, definitely check out my course, Getting Unstuck. We go into all of the information about the bijas. It also includes meditation working with the bija for each of the chakras, as well as its color, lotus flower, yantra, etc. Now, if you're like, yantra what? Lotus flower what? These are other ways of working with the chakras to help balance and bring one's consciousness there. So I review all of that in my Getting Unstuck course. So again, check that out if you're interested. I will be dabbling that information into future videos, so be sure to subscribe and follow if you're interested. Friends, that's the nuts and the bolts of the throat chakra. I mean, I can go on for days about each of the chakras, but I'm gonna leave you with that so that you have some information to digest and integrate. And until next time, friends, stay curious.